morning. This is Madama, Disruptors, Alex and Frank. And today we do not have a guest by design. The purpose of us having this podcast today is we'd like to have a review with you, the listener, as to the purpose and reasons why we actually created this podcast. And it's very important that we share this. Number one, we actually created it for two separate purposes. The first purpose is that we would like to attract people that have disruptive ideas from the industry or any particular industry, actually. But we happen to be in the cleaning industry, but we would accept people from different industries also. However, we're looking for people with disruptive ideas. Just to be clear, what we mean by that is anything that you feel would really makes a difference, create a difference in the industry. Other like the electric car, in our opinion, was a disruptor. Walmart is a disruptor. They're disruptors in the systems and the way things were done. That's really what we're looking for. We're looking for people that have ideas, concepts, inventions. They are disruptive things that are different than they think that what's going on in the industry. That's the first area of person that we're looking for. The second area that we're looking for are people, management people, people in companies who would like to come on our podcast and share what they think are their problems today. What are they faced with that they feel that they are the most difficult things, that there is situations that they're faced with on their jobs, in managing their companies. And those people bringing those situations to the limelight will help the disruptors also think about, hey, maybe I have an idea that can help those people that were on there with a situation, and I think I might have an answer for them. So that's the reason why we want both types of people. Now, we've never announced that before. That might have been logical that we were doing that, but Alex and I decided to make this podcast deliberately devoted to this conversation because we could use your help. We in continuing to develop this. We would like this to reach as many people as possible, and we're open for ideas. If you have any, you bring them to us. I'm interested in Alex's thoughts on this subject but before I do ask his thoughts, I want you to know our email address is disruptors, Alex and Frank at, let me be sure I say it correctly. It's at gmail.com. That's our email address. So you can send the information to us if you want to be on our podcast. And then one of us, Alex or myself, would get in touch with you and arrange the time that you would come on the podcast. So thank you for listening. I hope you'll help us because we need your help in building this. We are doing very well at the present time. And the clients that we have and have had in the past have helped us also. But I find the last thing I want to say is many people that we invite have their own podcasts. So if you feel we could be of any value being on your podcast, invite us, Alex or myself, and we would be happy to participate in your podcast. So with all that said, I'm going to turn it over to Alex and see if he has anything to add to that.
I think you covered everything, Frank. I think that the exactly what you said, the people that are going to disrupt our industry, whether it's in the housekeeping field or whether it's the environmental services, if you want to call it, cleaning, disinfecting. I think that the most important thing is to be the Amazon. If we have the Amazon of our industry going out there and showing how things can be done differently, how things can be done from a new angle, that would be great. When we had a couple of weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we had people that were actually on the front line doing the housekeeping and letting us know what it is that they are challenged, their challenges and what they're looking at in their field. I think that is really, important, so that when we bring on guests that have solutions for those issues or challenges, I think that it plugs into pieces like a puzzle, sort of enlightens both you and me and the listeners what it is that we really need to introduce into the marketplace, or what is being introduced into the marketplace, or what should be introduced into the marketplace. I also want to have next couple of weeks, you and I discussed having some more people from the field itself, directors, managers that are dealing with challenges, just to sort of expose the industry or the listeners to our podcast to what it is that we're going after, what it is that we're looking to provide solutions for, or to expose disruptors in the industry that are trying to tackle those challenges with innovative technology. So I think, we probably in the next week or so, we'll have a guest on that's a director, and sort of give us ammunition or give us food for thought for the future guests that we're going to bring on as disruptors. So if there is a director out there that would like to join and feels that he has some ideas that he would like to introduce to our listeners as far as what a need is, or what they're looking for, or what their challenges are, we'd love to have him as a guest. And again, to the manufacturers or disruptors of our industry, or people who think they are disruptors in the industry, if they want to bring that disruptive idea into the podcast and introduce it to thousands of listeners, between you, me, and the other mediums that we use to advertise our podcast, there's thousands, tens of thousands of people that are open to hearing our podcast. So I think it's very, very productive, and I think it's very beneficial for both the listener and for the person who thinks he's a disruptor.
Well, thank you, Alex. And in conclusion, I just want to make a comment that to the listeners, we'd like you to know that we are sensitive to the fact that don't be concerned that we're going to mention the name of your hospital. I know some of the medical facilities would prefer not to have the names of their hospitals, and for many reasons. And that's not, we're sensitive to that. So don't let that prevent you from wanting to come on to our, as a podcast. We don't have to necessarily, we can just say you're from the medical industry, and we might say your title, but we don't have to say what hospital you represent, if that is of any concern to you. I want you to know Alex and I are concerned about that. Okay, so thank you very much today for listening. I don't think we have anything else to say, and we're looking forward to continuing this podcast, and we'll see you next week. And as I always say at the end, I love you.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, everyone.